I clicked off the button too soon. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Super excited. I think as the weeks go on, I'm getting more and more excited with Outschool now that I've taught a class and my friends have been teaching their first classes and we get to hear all about it. So we may have some more people come on. We're not quite sure who's coming here yet, but it's always fun to see everybody. So can you guys take a second and introduce yourself while I let's see if Mindy's here yet. So let's see, Kasey, you were here first. How about you go first?
Yeah, hey everyone. So I'm teacher Kasey, and I'm loving Outschool. Outschool is so fun, and it's just really cool that you get to be so creative and teach about all the things that you're really passionate about and interested in. It's like, I don't know. I think it's so incredible, and I wish I knew about this before because I'm like, it's the coolest idea, really. So,
yeah. How did we all miss this for so long?
I know, seriously, for sure.
Yeah. Good. And so you guys can send me your link so I can add that.
Hey, Mindy.
Look at Mindy. Hi. So you guys can let me know your Outschool links and we'll put them at the bottom. And I've been telling people in the chat, or if you're not an Outschool teacher yet and you're looking for someone to refer you, it doesn't cost you anything. You can use one of our referral links, and I'm looking around, we all teach so different that I'm sure one of us will probably click with your style. So feel free to ask questions in the chat, and I think that's it. Kelly, you want to go next?
Okay, so my name is Teacher Kelly, and I've been teaching at Outschool since June. I wish I started a couple months earlier when it started booming, like you guys said. Yeah, so I actually have a video coming out on my channel before the day is over about pivoting for the fall and rebranding yourself at Outschool for the fall. So, yeah.
Great topic.
Cool. Yeah.
And Marianne.
Okay, so I just finished my first class, yay, about an hour ago. I went 10 minutes over, but that's okay. And fortunately, I knew all the moms and their kids. So I had a little trouble with the technology. I mean, like, I only saw one student and I'm like, oh no, I can only see one student. And so they helped me. And it was so nice, that was my main concern. One of the concerns why I haven't started earlier, the technology. Even though I've been with VIP Kid for 3 years, it's different, right?
Yeah.
And that was
gallery mode.
Yes. And Kim and I have practiced a couple of times. We went on and just were like, okay, try this and try, and that helped a lot. So I would highly recommend, I know Outschool offers a class, but I would highly recommend somebody that you know and feel comfortable with that can help you, because it really does make a difference. Because I had a Google Slides presentation or whatever. We were writing capital letters. So, and making that was, I've never used Google Slides. So I'm like, oh, all these new things to learn. But anyway, it was fun. And I've already got another class on Monday and I've got some ideas, ideas just start popping up.
Right.
So I try to look and see what other people are, if they're doing the same thing, not to copy, but just to see if it's popular, is it a waste of my time? I want to do a book study.
Marianne, I have to show you. This is the class I just did. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Can you see it?
It's black.
It's black. It says, there it is.
Oh yeah, no,
there it is.
Awesome. So I just did the same thing, Marianne.
Okay, that's so funny. That's so funny.
I made mine into a PowerPoint, and guys, I have to tell you, I tried doing all kinds of things. I went to Canva, and it took 2 seconds. Once I started using Canva, I was like, oh.
I do have Canva. Yeah. It's another thing I need to learn. So anyway. Anyway, I'll stop. Mindy.
Oh no, go for it. Hey, Mindy.
Hi. Okay, so I got hired on. I was just trying to figure that out when I got hired on. So I got hired on around the middle of May, because that's when I have all these little classes scheduled where I was learning how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But I probably didn't actually teach my first class till close to the beginning of June, which is that when you were, Kelly, did you say?
Yes. Yeah. My timeline's just like yours. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you and I started right about the same time. Because I remember she was talking about her classes and I was talking about mine. So, yes, I teach her VIP Kid and Outschool. So I've taught, let me go back. I taught, where does it say that? I don't know how many classes I've taught, but I only teach 2 days a week. And so what I choose to do is do massive 2 days. Like I run and go and teach a bunch of classes, but I keep it to 2 days a week so that I have the other days of the week to do stuff I need to do around here or my planning for Outschool or prep or whatever. So I just do like full-time 2 days a week, but I do my VIP Kid 5 mornings a week.
Okay. Marianne, Rebekah said she loved your slideshow. It was so helpful.
Oh, good. Yeah, I saw yours. I wish I could show you mine, but
you can. Do you want a screen share?
Sure. I'll give it a whirl.
Okay, hang on. I gotta make you a.
Okay, I gotta find my Okay, this is gonna sound stupid, but I gotta find my Google Slides presentation.
That's fine. We'll keep chatting. You just give me a thumbs up or something when you're ready.
Okay.
Rebekah said she started a few weeks after Kelly and Mindy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Kasey, you started in June also?
I think so. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Marianne and I are the newbies.
Yeah.
I actually got hired in May.
Marianne.
But I'm just now teaching my first class. But I just wanted to say I hadn't planned on, this was supposed to be my year to catch up on my own stuff.
Right.
And then everybody started talking about Outschool and I'm like, not that I love it, but I'm just like, I just had other plans. But I thought, well, I better get hired. And I'm so glad I did because they changed the requirements about 3 weeks after. So I'm like, phew.
Yes.
Yep. If you have questions on the new hiring stuff, let me know. I'll tell you what I had to do. Mine was a lot, but it was fast. Guys, I put in my application and the very next day it was denied. And then I put in my application again and the very next day it was accepted. It was totally my fault. I totally skipped a little. Well, I didn't skip it. I just misread it and did a whole lesson plan rather than a description. And it wasn't until we were on a live with Tamara when she started explaining what they were looking for. She's like, don't make a lesson plan. I'm like, I think that was my mistake. And it was.
Wow.
So went back and fixed that. And then it said, congratulations. Here's your background check. I did it. And within a couple hours, I was accepted there too. So hopefully the process is still that quick.
Okay, I have it.
Okay, go ahead, go down.
Okay, I was going to say, I did have actually 2 other classes get listed, but they didn't fill. And that's okay because I was like, I wasn't ready. So it's probably a blessing in disguise. Okay, so I'm going to share the screen.
Mm-hmm.
And
my first one was full. My very first class at Outschool, I had it filled up with 6 students, and my second one I had 5.
Okay, so this is it. I did the ABC, and then
cute.
Oh, thank you. And I did just a little welcome. I put nice to meet you, and we just kind of introduced ourselves. And then I did the classroom rules, very simple, because it's 4 to 7-year-olds. Plus I had a thing, And then I just wanted to do a positive thing. Always try your best. And then I went through, I actually did these so I could kind of show them, start your letters at the top and do the arrow. And so that goes all the way through. And then I have a little message at the end. But yeah, that's it.
Is it wrong that I'm thinking big line down, little curve, little curve?
That's what I did. The handwriting without tears.
I have that whole set.
Do you? You probably have so many great resources.
I'm thinking about using it, but
yes.
But in my head, when I see handwriting, I'm like, big line down, line,
frog jump. Yes. Yeah. And the little song that goes with it. Where do you start your letters at the top?
I did that song during my writing class.
Well, it was funny because there were 3 students, which was more than enough. and it was like, and their kids are so cute because they all want to show you, and it's like, oh, it's so good, and then it's like, okay, what comes after D? And they're like, and just trying to, that interaction and everything. Yeah. So it's a good learning experience.
So what age group did you make this for?
4 to 7.
Okay, I made mine 3 to 7, and I had, what did I have, Kelly? 4 or 5 3-year-olds in there. I think I told you, between the 2 classes. Wow. I was a little nervous, but they did so good.
How long was your class, Kasey?
30 minutes.
How long did you?
30 minutes.
30. Yeah, I scheduled mine for 35, and then ended up going to 45 because.
Well, I didn't do all of the letters. I just said we would do the first letter of all of their names. So I had 6 kids, so we worked on those 6 letters.
Oh.
And yeah.
Okay. I can almost see this would be better to be broken up into 2 separate classes, honestly.
Yeah.
And I don't want parents to think like, oh, sure, you want us to pay more. But it's not that. It's just if you want to do it right, you need that time,
Right.
Such a good topic right now, because we're all kind of at this point of thinking and brainstorming of these classes and how to post them and what's going to work for the fall, especially because there's so many kids that are at home right now, and some parents want assistance. I don't think all of them know what assistance they want yet. I just met somebody that's like, I'm homeschooling. I had to go into her house to help her. I had to walk around with the pest control people. But anyway, so I go into the house. There's no problems. It's just a monthly thing. I go in the house and she's like, I'm trying to homeschool. I don't know, Of course, she had a kindergartner. So I'm like, oh, what do you have? Show me, So she's like, I think I need help. And I'm like, well, let me tell you. So I think we're kind of at a point where parents are going to need help and looking for resources. And I think it's a great opportunity for us to be those resources.
Yes, definitely. Yeah. So I was going to ask, so Kelly is the veteran here in our group.
And Mindy.
Actually,
and Mindy. I'm sorry. And Mindy. Yes.
And Kasey.
Oh, and Kasey. I'm sorry, Kasey. Okay.
Yeah, all 3 of us started about the same time, right?
I am so sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
All 3. Yeah.
Me and you, Marianne.
Okay.
Yeah. The newbies.
Yeah. Well, you're even further than me. So, but that's okay. So, I know you talked about, it's funny, I have been reading all the posts about Outschool, but until you actually do it, it's like, I don't know what they're saying. It doesn't, when you do it, then you're like, oh, that's what they're talking about. You kind of learn on the job, OJT, right? On the job training. Right. So my thing is scheduling, my question. And I know you talk about, Kelly has talked about later afternoon to catch the California kids or, but if you're doing like, preschool time or something like that, mornings are best, or,
Well, Rebekah has her class at like 9 something, right after VIP Kid. And she hits all the East Coasters.
Okay.
In the morning.
Okay.
Yeah. And Europe, like anybody in England, morning class, that's afternoon for them. I don't know, just me personally, the afternoon book better. I'm in Eastern time. That's what I found, but I'm doing I'm not doing as young as kids as you, but I don't know.
Well, and Mary accidentally booked for 1:30 in the morning instead of 1:30 in the afternoon, and that was filled with students from China.
Yeah.
So I guess, I don't know.
Because
I still play.
What I try to do is I sit down, I have, I'll get it in a second, but I, just like a planner. So I sit down with my paper planner and I block in the times that I want to teach. And I usually start at 10:30 in the morning is when I start, just because by the time I get done with VIP Kid, do my feedback, take my shower, get beautified for Outschool, because heaven forbid I get beautified for VIP Kid,
It's too early.
Yeah, I just teach with my pajamas and a sweatshirt on and like, okay, here I am. But anyway, but because a lot of my classes that are popular are tea parties, I need to look a little fancier for the tea party. So like I didn't have my makeup on earlier for my painting rock class. But now my tea party is at 3, so I wanted to put makeup on and look a little bit nicer for that. So, and if you girls can't hear me, just let me know, because my
That's good.
headphone is beeping at me. So I
can hear you. Yeah.
I didn't
good.
plug it in very well or something. But anyway, so, so I try to vary it. So like, if I can, now in the fall, it's different, because in the fall, I have 8-week courses that are twice a week, and they're a ready reader class. So the kids have to already know their letter names, letter sounds, and then I teach them their phonemic awareness, their phonics, a little bit of phonics, their sight words, their making words, that kind of stuff. So mine are an ongoing twice a week for 8 weeks. So it's a semester class is what I did. And I did 3 sessions of those. But for my summer classes, my one-time classes, I try to really vary it. So maybe one week, my painted rock class is at 10:30 in the morning. But the next week, I do it at like 4 in the afternoon. So I try to mix it up just to kind of see if I can catch different learners at different times. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And I have no desire to do the middle of the night or the weekends, which is when you would catch like the Chinese and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing Outschool so I can have more normal hours and, get a little better reimbursement for my teaching kind of thing.
Yeah.
But so I try really hard to vary that schedule. I would try to just mix it up and see what works best for you. I kind of play around with it. So far, I haven't found a pattern. Like Kelly's found, the older kids, the afternoon, that's what they want. For me, it's like, I think it's more topic related. Some of my classes don't book very well at all. They just don't. And then some classes, like the tea parties, I have a master's degree in reading education, and they want to come have a tea party with me. I'm like, okay, what about books? Did you want to read a book with me? Or, I mean, I do a read aloud during my tea parties, but my novel studies and book conversation things, they don't book for me. And I think I'm kind of now pegged to the younger crowd, where I tried to do some for the older, some for the younger, and I'm just kind of like, more of the younger crowd books me, so I'm just gonna stick with that.
Yeah.
Does that help, Marianne? I hope that helps.
Thank you. Yes,
Okay.
it does.
Rebekah says she uses a paper planner too, and then she just inputs it into her computer.
I use my phone calendar. I was going to say, I had one request from Hong Kong, and I had taken off from VIP Kid one day. So I booked super early in the morning. I only had 3 learners in the class, but I was still making more than VIP Kid. Yeah. So I did have a Hong Kong request one time.
Oh,
yeah,
that's awesome.
So what are your favorite classes that you've taught, or exciting upcoming class? Kasey, you want to start with that one? Because I know you have a couple you're excited about.
Yeah, and then just really quick to go off the last what we were talking about earlier is last week I opened because on the weekends I haven't really had openings for VIP Kids, so I've been keeping that closed off, and I haven't been getting bookings with Go-Go Kids, so I just decided with Outschool I might as well open some. So like earlier in the morning I opened some times up because I was like, maybe I'll get some kids like from overseas, and it was cool because I got a kid from South Korea and a girl from Israel and some kids, brother and sister from India. And yeah, it's just really cool, opening up different earlier times like that. I think it was like 5 or 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So like 8 o'clock Eastern Time. But it's really cool getting to talk to them. And there's not a language barrier at all. They're like really, really super intelligent and very fluent. And I had a girl also from China, and she said her dad's from England, her mom's from China, and she had like family in Singapore and all over the place. But yeah, it was just amazing, really cool. So I just wanted to share that. But yeah, as far as favorite classes, I like unique classes and like just to teach off of different fun things. So for example, something that I have is I have Steve Irwin class, and some of you probably know that, but it's I get to teach about like wildlife conservation, and I'm working on a new class that's kind of going off of that too, but it's more on like his family and the wildlife warriors and just how they help animals and just what they do. It's basically how, I don't know, it's just kind of like what they're doing. And then I like adding like fun activities, like maybe they can after class see if they want, they could like write a letter. Like what would they say if they were to write a letter to the Irwins? And I don't know, just really, fun stuff like that. And then also I have one on fashion, like fashion through the ages. So yeah, I started like the Elizabethan age and then go through the Victorian and through the 1900s. And I've had a couple of students so far and they really loved it. They found it very interesting.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I like how they're all kind of different.
Yeah.
That's like an eclectic group of classes and stuff.
Yeah.
So fun.
Thank you. Yeah, and I teach about Harry Potter, and where we just like chat about everything Harry Potter. I have like fun slideshows that go along with that, and then there's like a Taylor Swift Easter egg one because in her songs and albums and music videos, there's like what they call Easter eggs or like hidden clues and just like weird, things. So yeah, I have I go over like her last 5 albums, and I'm still figuring out like some of the presentation stuff for that. But yeah, I've been working on that for like 2 weeks now, working a lot. So it's just some cool stuff coming up too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
Kasey, which ones are booking the best for you out of those?
So far I haven't put the Taylor Swift one up. It's up and it's like ready. If I wanted to open it up, I could. It's just I'm still working on some presentation stuff. So that one I haven't opened up really, but I have Would You Rather, and those are really popular. And I've had students that start off in Would You Rather, and then they're like, oh, I like this. So then they take my Harry Potter class. And then they're like, oh, that's so fun. So then I just had one that took both those classes. And then today he took my Crikey, the Steve Irwin class. So yeah, but yeah, the Would You Rather and the Harry Potter, those are very popular, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious. Now, are you doing anything more curriculum, core curriculum based for the fall, or are you keeping it like fun classes?
I'm trying to keep it a little more fun because I know with the kids, they're doing a lot of like schooling at home. And I mean, I know it's important and I'm not like, saying it's not at all. Like, I know that's really awesome, for them to be learning, but I just want them to have something fun and enjoyable, like more enjoyable, like, oh, I got to talk about Harry Potter for an hour, for 45 minutes, whatever. And we all just chatted about just all the amazing things that we like about it. And I don't know. So I think that I'm just going to try to keep on that, like more fun stuff. I mean, Steve Irwin is considered like science and stuff, but I mean, it's not like something that they would learn in school necessarily.
Right.
Yeah. Kelly, what are your favorites?
Okay, so my Tea Party class has been my most popular, and it's fun and it's easy. Actually, in the video I have coming out, I don't know, Kasey and Mindy, if you have noticed this, but I've noticed a big drop last week and this week in my Tea Party class. So are your fun classes, are you seeing a drop in your fun classes? You are, Mindy? Yeah.
Well,
because,
just in general, like this week in general is not as booked as the other weeks have been. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I've actually, it's kind of weird. I've noticed mine have actually increased for some reason. So I don't know why. I mean, I thought maybe it would have.
I think that makes sense because you would think some of the parents want some fun things before the academics, they're maybe next week or in a couple of weeks because the kids are all on the computers, all academics right now, or at school academics. Maybe in a week or two it'll flip back. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. So, well, that's been my most popular class in the summer. It's not really book. So I have some book classes. I have an ongoing book class about owl diaries, and each week we discuss another one. I've had some one-time classes that I could make I did Junie B. Jones. I did Dog Man. If you go to my profile, I have a huge list of classes. Some classes I only open if I get a parent request. So twice I've done a tick class. I have, let's see. Oh, I a Thomas class once. I did an ESL one-on-one class with one kid. So I do have a bunch of classes where I leave them on my profile. If I get a request, I do them, and I maybe only done them once or twice. So, and some of my classes, I have an election class. I talk about this in my video. I tried to open it. It didn't book. So I went back to the tea party, which was booking, but I thought about revisiting that in the fall because people maybe want more serious classes. So yeah, I have a whole host of classes. My favorite's the tea party though. That's my favorite. Yeah.
It's fun. Sounds like fun. I reached out to another publisher, and they said that they've given permissions to all teachers right now up to a certain point. So if you guys want to know who it is, you let me know.
Oh, we do.
I'll send you guys the message
Okay, yeah.
after this. But one thing I heard a lot about is copyright. Make sure you don't have copyright, stuff on your thumbnails. You're not using copyrighted pictures and stuff in your classes. So that's one of the reasons why I didn't start with Outschool. But you can reach out to publishers, especially now during COVID. I think a lot of them are more willing to help you out, at least in the 3 that I've contacted that said I could read their books. Yeah, there are some like stipulations to some of them. Like one says, okay, but we have permission to tell you to take the video down, and then I just have to make it private and can't put it up on my YouTube anymore. But okay, certain things like that. They haven't told me that, but I guess they just want to make sure that they have, that I understand that they can tell me to take it down.
Do you just email them, Kasey?
I do. Yeah, I've been emailing them. I started this before VIP Kid, before Outschool, before COVID, and I was like, I need something to do. I just came from teaching overseas for so many years, and I'm at home. Like, I had no vehicle. My husband worked, and I'm an empty nester, so I was like, I need to do something with myself, So I started emailing publishers and asking them if I could do read alouds. That's what my channel was supposed to be, guys. And then I met Evelyn and Kelly and everybody that totally changed. So yeah,
it's super fun. Yeah, I want to have a variety also. I've been thinking okay, some academic, because I do, I'm a teacher and I do enjoy that. But then it's a little more relaxed environment would be nice too. I've kind of looked online when I think of an idea, and then I usually check and see, like I said earlier, is it popular, or not that it matters, but I've seen where they have girl chat. And I thought, oh, that's a cute idea, because sometimes girls, it's hard to talk to other people, but maybe being in this type of environment, it's not as scary, because you don't really have to be with people physically, and you can close your camera or whatever. So one of the things I want to do, there's a book series I want to do, but I have to ask the publisher. But yeah, I'd like to do some food cooking.
You should.
Yeah.
I want to. Okay, so I bought a gooseneck thing or whatever for my phone. My thing is, that's what I have to do is figure out how to set it up. I do have an iPad I think I could use, but I'm just not sure of the, I don't know, because it's I'm thinking these people are cooking. So are they literally baking? Because, to allow an hour, is there time to do all that? That's my concern.
So what I've heard when I took some of the trainings from Outschool, one lady was saying that the kids sign up for 2 times a day. So they have 30 minutes in the morning when they mix it and bake it. And then in the evening, they come back for another class to decorate.
Oh.
Things like that. Yeah, so I thought that was really interesting.
Okay.
This is what I've got
That's what I have.
Rebekah. Yeah. And I clamped it to my island in my kitchen. and then it just stayed on there. And it holds my phone. Is it big enough for an iPad?
Yeah, I have one just like that, Kasey.
Oh, yours must be bigger. Mine just fits the iPhone. See how small it is?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah. So
There's
that's what
another
I'd like to
idea,
do. And I'd like to do like some no bake. I have some no bake recipes. I bake a lot. Like I have made thousands and thousands of cookies. I mean, no lie. I just like to bake.
Put them on your YouTube so that I can get some no bake.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I will open up my channel this weekend. I have 29 followers so far.
All right, we will put your link down because we need to all go check out some good recipes and stuff. So
okay. So anyway,
that's what
Oh
what
yeah.
were you saying?
Oh, talking about how you weren't sure about how you would make it work with the cooking.
Yes.
Also, you can do flex classes. So like you can record them, and you know you can like record part of it like as you're going, and then you can like pause it, and then you can finish as you finish cooking. You can like then take off there, so it's not like yeah.
That's a good idea too.
Yeah, that's something else I have to learn. I had listed a class. I got listed to make these. It was around 4th of July, and it was a no bake. It's just like a pretzel, Hershey Kiss M&M, really simple, but patriotic snacks I called it.
Yeah.
But I didn't have a long enough window, you know.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like last minute, and and then I was like, okay, I was actually kind of glad because I wasn't sure if I was really ready to do it.
Yeah.
That was a blessing in disguise, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have I love Scrabble, so Eventually I'll list that again to become a Scrabble champion. So I teach like the 2-letter words, the ones nobody knows about, and the Q words, J and all that. So so yeah. Anyway.
Great.
So one of my tea party classes has. So I have my Princess Sophia tea party. The princess. So at the Princess Tea Party, just one-time class. And then I have a Fancy Nancy 2 times in a week. It's a camp. So it's my tea party camp. So with that one, they make a treat. They make a snack. And so all I use is my external camera, and I just like fold my computer down. And so my camera is shining on it. They need to see something, I'll just pick up my external camera and show them. But like the first one, I mean, because this is like age 3 to 7 or something, is we make a fairy tea sandwich. And so all it is they're taking a piece of bread, cutting a small cookie cutter in the center to make a little design. And then they take the other piece of bread and they spread their butter of their choice, either Nutella or peanut butter or dairy butter or whatever they eat on it. Then they put sprinkles. Then they put their top on that has the hole, and it sees the sprinkles. And then we use a bigger cookie cutter and cut it out, and they make a tea sandwich. So that's all done. Actually, I do it all right here in my office. I show it to them, and they think it's like the best thing ever. It's like peanut butter and sprinkle sandwich. No big deal.
Peanut butter.
Yeah. And then today is the second day of this camp, and I take popcorn. So I tell them on Wednesday, now when I see you Friday, make sure your popcorn's already popped. And then we just melt chocolate in the microwave, and I teach them how it has to be at 50% power. If it's chocolate chips, add a little butter. If it's melting chocolate, you don't have to, blah, blah. And they can add things to their popcorn like nuts or cereal or sprinkles, to the recipe. It's called Pixie Dust Popcorn, and it's designed to be with white chocolate. But I tell them, if you want dark chocolate or milk chocolate or whatever chocolate you want, you put on whatever you like. And then you just mix it all together really well. I put it on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, let it dry. They usually eat it right away and get all chocolatey, and that's fine. And so they're quick, easy, simple, young children kinds of recipes. And their moms are almost always right there helping them. So, I mean, you may think like, oh, this is kind of hard for a 3-year-old, but the moms are the ones popping the popcorn, and they're just kind of doing the mixing and you know, thinking that they're kind of doing it, but the moms are usually helping them. And I put that in the description. You know, your child may need help with popping the popcorn or melting the chocolate or whatever, so that your computer doesn't get to be a mess. You know, that's always like, you want to protect your electronics as an important thing. So, but they seem to like it. They eat it. They, you know, think it's like the best thing ever. And they have cute little names to go along with the Fancy Nancy book. And but the other thing I wanted to tell you all too, when you're planning, is a lot of these publishing companies, you probably know this, but they have free material right on their website for using, where it could be like My Fancy Nancy, there's a ton of free activities on their website that I will have them, I'll upload as a thank you at the end of class, like, oh, thank you for attending class. If you want to work on this little worksheet for, if you're bored one day, here it is, you know, kind of thing. So just, you don't have to create every worksheet kind of thing out there, or coloring page or whatever. That a lot of them will have free things out there for you too.
Yeah, you just have to make sure that just because they're free, you have to make sure you're able to reproduce them or give them to others. So, and I'm not an expert on copyright, so
right.
What is your usual rate you all charge for your classes? I charged $10 a kid for my first class. And
how long was it? How long was your?
It was 30 minutes.
30. Okay.
And I had up to 6 kids. How about anybody else?
Yeah, 10. Same.
Yeah, I did.
And yours was 45, right? Oh, it was 35.
It's supposed to be 35.
Yeah. Okay, so about the same. Kasie?
Yeah. Yeah, I did 10 for like 45 minutes, and I tried 12 because my Steve Irwin one is like 55 minutes and, you know, nearly an hour. So I tried 12, and I wasn't getting like a ton for that class. So I moved it down to 10, and I just kind of like shortened it and took some other stuff out, because I'm like, I don't want to teach that long and just, you know, maybe like $10. So.
Yeah. Kelly?
Yeah, my Tea Party class is 10. My book club is 10, but it's 45. Some are 8. I have one class that's like 5. It depends on the class. If it's more popular, you can charge more. If it's less popular, I charge less. Yeah.
Hey, so. Mindy?
Kelly, I was going to ask Kelly a question real quick. I noticed one time you did your tea party, like you have been doing, but then you said with CVC words because somebody requested. So how did you, can I ask, how did you incorporate that then into your lesson? Or
okay, well, I created that classically for Evelyn. She had a $20 credit to use and wanted the tea party, but wanted her kids to learn something. So it was $20 because
awesome.
You know, she had and somebody else, but literally just we drank tea, went over short and long vowel sounds during the class.
Okay.
And then so that was all.
I'm the same as Kelly. It just depends on the class. I try to stick to that like $12 for an hour. The only class that I have for a half an hour is my brain break class. And I actually developed that class because I felt like I needed a brain break, like midday, that I was like, because I teach so much in one day, if they all book, you know, like I have it scheduled like 5 or 6 classes in one day, but they might not all book. So then it might end up with like 2 or 3 or whatever. But if they all book, then it's a big day and I need a break there in the middle. And it's like, I'm just sitting on my butt too much that I want to move and take a break. So I developed that class where we like just play, like Simon Says, or Would You Rather, or whatever. It's just, they get to vote and choose what they want to do. So I just have a file of fun online Zoom games, and then they pick what they want to play. So that one I only charge $5 because it's like, I made my little file. I have no prep to get ready for that. I pull my file. What do you want to play? And we play for $5.
I wonder if that will be popular coming up here with all the kids online and everything, maybe they'll be like, maybe the parent will schedule that for like the middle of their day, give them a little break and then move on.
What
Good
age,
And
Mindy?
I have that one. Let me double check. I think that's like 4 to 7 as well. Let me see. Brain break.
While you're looking that up, I just want to say Rebekah says she does $8 to $10 for 30 minutes for her science classes. I can't wait to do my STEM classes. Danny said 10 to 12 for 30 and 12 to 15 for 45 minutes. She just changed her PE class from $8 to $10. And Kelly, did you get a chance to post her class to the Facebook group?
I did. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I did this morning.
Yeah, it's there, Danny. So, and
so
yeah, it's pretty cool that she did the PE class because she needs to work out too.
Yeah, that's a
so
good.
6 to 11 years old for brain break. I did 6 to 11, and I just figured because I wanted school age, and you want them to be able to follow some of those directions, or if we did hangman, I wanted them to know like words. But again, I just keep getting booked for the younger students. You know, I don't get.
That's a good idea though, Mindy. Like Kasey said, the parents may be ready for a break.
Yeah.
And it's entertaining.
Yeah. Now the weird thing, and maybe Kelly or Kasey, have you either done ongoing classes?
I have one. I have an Owl Diaries book class that's ongoing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my brain break is an ongoing class. So the first session I had 3 students enrolled. So that's, $15, then the Outschool cut, whatever. And I was like, it's half an hour. It's fine. I need a break. I want to move. But only 2 showed up. So you still get paid for all 3, right?
Yes. I did the other day. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what? My ongoing class, I had 7 who paid and 1 who showed up on Wednesday.
Wow. Okay.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
So I just taught it Wednesday, and I had 4 in there registered. And then I did put a note in the classroom, just a reminder, this is an ongoing class. If you don't want to be signed up for a session, you need to, cancel the class or whatever. But I did have a mom come on for that class at the very end of my first time doing it. And she said, hey, I'm going to have to see when school starts, how our schedule works and what the recess time would be. It would be so great when it's their recess time for a bunch of their friends to get on to the Zoom and do recess together. And I was like, yeah, if it fits, because I already have my reading classes, booked for the next 8 weeks. So if it fits, it fits. If it doesn't fit, I can't do it,
So let me ask you guys a question, and those in the chat. I am certified for Zumba and Zumba for kids. So I'm thinking maybe I should just do a Zumba class, sure. But I'm like,
definitely.
Yeah, you
should. Yes.
Yeah.
I heard the gym classes or physical are very popular.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes. Start icing down my knees again.
No, definitely you should do it.
Yeah, you should. That's like what I want to do with Pound too, because I just got certified for a Pound for kids. So yeah, that'd be cool.
I want to do Pound for adults. We'll have to talk about that after. I'll pay you, and then all of my friends can come again.
But movement thing is definitely they need it. They're not getting any movement with their virtual learning at home. Right. And their parents have to work. Their parents are doing their online working. They need to work. They need something to entertain their kids, So
that'd be
cool.
And
we're cheaper than a babysitter, don't you think?
Yeah. Hey, Micah might have something to say about this too. I know I think he started with Outschool too, and he's also a PE teacher, but he's back to work too. So he's quite the busy guy right now.
Oh, wow. Really? He's back at brick and mortar?
I might have missed it. There he is. Let's see. Renee said, thank you for all of your responses. Hey, thanks for Renee. If you have any questions, keep adding them. Micah said, for sure, huge need, athletes, sports, OMG, gold mine. Okay, I think you guys just talked me back into it.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
was going to say,
Go ahead, and then I'll go over. I just want to tell people really quick if they're getting started with Outschool. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you find any books that are over 100 years old, you don't have to get permission to use them if there's any interest. Cool. So anyway.
Oh, she probably. Oh, I thought Mindy was leaving for her class.
No. I keep putting my phone up to read the chat, and of course I put it on the side where the power on off thing is, and I keep like turning it off. Oh. So you think I would have learned the first time, but I didn't.
So this was basically how to create a lesson plan, and I just want to tell anyone that's just getting started, it's a lesson plan, but I like the way it's spelled out. Do you know what I mean? Like when you start inputting your lesson plan, it's like do the title in title case. You know, when you're in your brick and mortar class, it's like sometimes you have an outline, or sometimes you just have to put in your lesson plans, or sometimes you have to hand them in. But with this, it's put your title, capitals, and then a summary. The summary is just a quick one sentence, or it says one sentence, but Danny and I had a discussion about this before. It's clear, descriptive, rather than a teaser. They don't want a teaser here. They want it to include keywords for easy searches. Then your subject is a drop down. You just click English, math, science, whatever it is. Super easy there. They did say in my training that if it falls between two, pick the one it's closest to, because you can only choose one. Course type, if you're doing a one-time course, which your first class is supposed to be, as far as I know, that's for everybody. You can do multi-day, an ongoing class, or a flex. I think we talked about them a little bit. If you have questions about that, let us know in the chat. Then image and video. I've only done images. I know Kelly does videos for hers. How about the rest?
I do too. I do a video.
Yeah.
Do you,
Marianne,
Kasey?
do you do a video?
For mine, I do. I don't know. I do videos in like slideshow.
I mean, in your lesson plans.
Your
like
class
on the class page.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm like, yeah, I do images usually, but I mean, I did one video, and I think I'm gonna do more, because I think it's just nice to give them an idea, especially if it's something that's kind of like different and weird. It's like they don't know what to expect. So yeah.
I think it helps with your bookings too, to do a little video. I really do.
Marianne, did you do one for yours?
I did for all of mine, but then I'm like, I gotta go put on my makeup, and you know. But I actually I did the uppercase and lowercase letters, and I listed they both got approved in like 5 minutes or less. Yeah. It was really weird. So when the first one got approved, I'm like, all right. So I did the other one real quick, and then did this kind of similar video. But I agree with Mindy. I think it helps with your bookings. Yeah.
I will say, I talked about this on the first. Oh, sorry, Kelly. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Well, I was just going to say, I've heard parents that are Outschool parents say that sometimes if there's no video on the class, they'll just move on to the next one, because then they can't see your personality. So I've heard people say that. Yeah.
I think definitely with Zumba, I'll probably do a little bit, but yeah, I didn't with the alphabet one. I just wanted to get my first class posted. I didn't even think about doing a video, you know. I was just like, I gotta get this done.
Right.
When I do my video, I just try to block film them, like we learned in the Nancy Taylor class. So like if I have that's what it's called. I'm like, one of those words. If I already have my makeup on and stuff, then I'll schedule in that day, like, okay, makeup's on, do a video, you know.
Yeah, that's the thing. One of the things Mindy and I did learn, and Kasey, in our course. So you batch record. So do more than one video recording. So you can, I've got 2 classes up. Instead of videoing one, you're already dressed and ready to go. You might as well just batch record both of them. And then you go back and edit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done, just will change my sweater. I'll be wearing the same shirt, and I'll just wear a different sweater for 3 different videos or something. Yeah. So.
And the next one is the course format. So that's where you put in your ages and the class size and how long they are. Next is course description. That's where your topics are included. They even give you questions to answer, and they want you to be very detailed in there. I did want to say, Marianne talked about sometimes hers got validated,
listed
accepted quick.
immediately.
I did learn in my training that sometimes depending on who's looking at them. So if you have a younger English course, there might be a teacher that's specific to start checking a lot of those. You know, if you have a very, like Julie, I think of Julie Connor with her, her classes with dealing with teens and suicide and things. Not just anybody can check those. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
they try to have somebody like an expert in your field check yours.
Okay.
So it just
That
depends
makes
on how
sense.
many they get and which person gets to yours.
And can I add one quick thing to that? One week, it was like the holiday, whatever holiday was not too long ago. I put a class up and it was like accepted like that. I was like, and we previously, that's when they were really, really backlogged, and they're not nearly as backlogged now, but it was taking weeks, you know, like a week, and it was just awful. So I messaged Kasey on Facebook. I was like, Kasey, put a class in now, girl. They're like,
Oh, that's awesome.
fast. Well, no. And then hers did not get approved fast.
Oh.
It was your Harry Potter one, right?
Yeah, that was Harry Potter.
And Harry Potter is one of those, you know, Harry Potter's by company, or is it by Disney, or who's it by? Who does Harry Potter? Universal.
Yeah.
I think Universal's the one that was like filing lawsuit that teachers were using the logos and weren't allowed to. They were infringing on the copyright. So I think that's what hung up Kasey because of that specific topic. So
Yeah, they did mention one of the companies doing that. I thought it was
it not Universal?
Warner Brothers. Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're all going to jump on board here shortly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's see, learning goals is next. That's where you can put your homework, your assessments. And I didn't know, oh, and pricing. I didn't know you can put a next class on there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can like, you know, advertise your next upcoming class.
So when you're developing classes, keep that in mind, because when you're first starting out,
yeah,
you don't have a whole library of classes yet, right? But when you are developing your classes, kind of keep that in mind, because I'm sure Kelly and Kasey probably agree with this, but totally give me your opinion if you don't. That when you have a student in your class and they have a great time and they have fun, they're like, hey, Teacher Mindy, what do you have next for us? So it's important to develop like things in order, as far as like this one kind of connects to this one, kind of connects to this one, kind of connects to this one, and keep your age group somewhat similar so that you have a few choices for them. Very good marketing of yourself to do it that way. Kasey and Kelly, do you have that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like, well, I've gotten a lot of kids from my American Girl class who joined my Owl Diaries book class because it's the same gender, same age. So yeah.
Cool. That's great. And then the next one, additional notes. I thought that was interesting because that's where like parental guidance, your sources, your teacher expertise goes in there. I know some of those are optional, but teacher expertise, if you're teaching, right, like I think part of that was for, I always go back to Julie, her teen things. Are you an expert to be able to talk to these teens about teen suicide type stuff? I don't even know if that's the exact topic, but but I was told, I think Danny told me that if you're teaching kindergarten writing and you are a kindergarten teacher that's certified in handwriting without tears, maybe you should tell them that. You know? So I was like, oh, I didn't think about that. But
because they say you don't have to unless it's a sensitive topic.
Right.
But if you are an expert in some way, write it down anyway, because it's just more helpful info for the parents. Yes, totally agree with what Danny said. Just write it anyway.
And then materials, enrolled learners, and that's where you can write your like welcome email. So, and then pricing is actually below that.
Now, materials, I don't know what you girls have found, but I try really hard to keep my materials right now to things that are easily found at home.
Yes.
Because most of our learners hop on at the very last minute, and even my ready reader class in the fall, I'm not asking them to purchase any materials from Amazon. Because think about it, if you say, here's your big, huge, long Amazon list, purchase these materials for my class, they can't register for your class at the last minute. And a lot of my learners register for last minute. So like, I'll try to do things that you can easily find around the house, or you know, that if you're a crafty kind of kid, you have on hand kind of thing.
Right.
What about the rest of you? Do you have anything that involves a big supply list, or do you keep it small?
Mine was just paper, pencil, or a whiteboard and markers. So mine was easy.
Yeah, actually, I got rid of the craft at my American Girl. I decided not to go with it, Mindy.
Yeah, it's
just
okay.
because of that. Yeah, because they didn't always have it. They were trying to find a craft where they had stuff around their house. That was hard. And the pandemic, people can't always get out. So yeah.
I do have a STEM one coming up, but the only thing they need is plastic bags from the grocery store. So
and they'll all have those.
and they at least ones that use them, so.
Right. Yeah, I think it's good to not really have many supplies. I mean, in most of my classes, they don't need anything. You just come and it's just like PowerPoint or whatever, you just throw it up and it's like kind of interactive that way. And parents seem to really like that. But yeah, if I do have anything, it's like pencil and paper. And because I work with Stephanie Oakleberry with lesson planning a lot, and she was saying that she, like, as a parent, and some of her kids have taken Outschool classes, and I guess like with some of the classes, the teacher might change it like last minute, like, oh, the day before, now you need this, when they didn't need it before. And it was like, okay, so yeah. She was like, we don't have that, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, you cannot do that. You cannot add something the day before. The parents will strangle you. Yeah.
I have another STEM class coming up, and they need like a sugar cube and some Play-Doh. Do you think maybe 3 weeks out to post that one? It's cool. It's about caves, guys. It's
fun.
It's how the caves are formed. So think about the sugar cube and melting it. It's really cool.
Okay, so with that one, Kasey, can they have the Play-Doh that you make, or does it have to be the store-bought Play-Doh?
I don't think it really matters. I used modeling clay in my classroom. But
so
that's what I had.
Yeah, so on your class list, I would say Play-Doh or modeling clay, or here's the recipe to homemade Play-Doh.
You're right, Mindy.
I always give, if it's like even the one that needs my paper towel, the empty paper towel tube, if you don't have that, use a rolled up piece of paper. Like, give them options so they can find it somehow around their house. And I wonder if there's a way you could make a sugar cube. Like, I would look at that
like this.
Well, I wonder if like you took a lump of sugar, if you took sugar and added some water to it and put it in an ice cube tray, would that make a sugar cube?
Not a clue. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
I am not a crafty person. I am one that I would rather go out and buy something. I prefer a big list to go out and buy than you have to make this. I don't.
But nowadays they don't. Like, I would love to do some of those Dollar Tree crafts. That's like so up my alley. I love watching the videos on Dollar Tree crafts, but who's going to the Dollar Tree right now? You know, they're not going out very much. Yeah.
I was thinking, like, if I love doing crafts, but I think with like not really young, because a lot of them you have to know, like, because there's a lot of fine motor skills that maybe they haven't developed yet. But I was thinking, like, for older kids or, you know, in between. But construction paper crafts is what I'm looking at, because most people have construction paper and scissors and glue, you know.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of, something fun, because I'm gearing up towards, you know, Christmas is coming and Thanksgiving, and trying to think of classes that they could take for the holidays. So
and even with the you would be surprised, Marianne, like scissors and glue, like I would put in there, or you can use tape or a stapler. Like, even for that, you have options for the glue. Like, I had somebody who didn't have tape maybe or something. And that was one of my very first classes. So it's like, okay, just give a lot of options, how you can modify it for the supplies you do have at home.
Yeah, I was in the military. We learned how to improvise all the time.
Right?
But yeah, thank you, Mindy. Yeah, good advice.
Rebekah uses a lot of science supplies, mostly things found in the house, baking soda, vinegar, oil, food coloring. I also give them the option to watch mine if they don't have the supplies.
Oh, that's good. That's good, Kasey. If
That's
they don't,
where I got the document, the gooseneck, whatever this thing is called. She uses this for her classes. So
if they don't have the sugar cube or the Play-Doh, then can put in there in your description, or you can just view the demonstration.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, because she uses that on her phone, you have Outschool on your computer and on your phone?
So Guess what I learned? I wanted to tell Rebekah this. So she does. She has like another participant. So it's one participant on the phone. Now, they did say in my training the other day that on the playbacks, you can't see what they're doing. So Rebekah might want to look into that. But I have a video coming out because I just learned, I'm going to tell you all my secret. I just learned I have an app for document camera that links to the Zoom. It's an app.
Oh, fun.
So I'm researching that right now, and I'll let you guys know.
Okay.
I have to write my own reminders.
Very cool.
Don't you? I think you have to.
What's that?
I think you have to hit spotlight. I think Rebekah was talking about that on Cindy's live, right in the chat. But you have to spotlight the camera if you want that camera to show up and not other people's. Right,
as a participant, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I think Serena Cooper, sincerely Serena, do you know her?
Yeah.
She has a YouTube video about that, about making it a participant.
Oh, okay.
And but you were saying about that it doesn't show on the feedback. I mean, on the playback. I mean, that's
right.
I don't know.
That's just what the lady told us in the Outschool training the other day.
Okay.
She wanted us all to know, and then sent us the link to this document thing. So, I'll let you know. I haven't researched it yet.
Good to know.
And do you all know, well, and for anybody who's watching who doesn't know, like you can take any of your classes and schedule a section and just schedule it private. And then you can go on and practice anything that you want. And you're the only one on there.
Oh, is that how you do it?
Yeah.
Schedule a section, but leave it private. Is that what you do, Kasey?
Well, and that's true that you can do that. Someone was saying the other day, I don't know if it was Brooke, but someone was saying that they had done that where it was private, but then like someone randomly booked it, even though they didn't have the link for it. And so she was like, okay, but I mean, you should be able to keep it private. So that's just like a weird fluke or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You can also just get on Zoom on your computer and just practice. It doesn't have to be through Outschool.
True.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
They're talking about physics. My weirdest supply is Alka-Seltzer.
Is that for the Diet Coke and the no?
Maybe, I know, right? Micah said he needs to move the camera. Well, let's see. I think that is all I'm thinking about right now. I have a question for you guys. And where do you find your ideas? I'm going to start with Kelly because she's the one that her and Danny were sending me ideas. So Kelly, you want to help me with that one?
Yeah. So when I first started Outschool, I was literally addicted to just creating classes. That's why you go to my page and there's all these classes. So yeah, the Sunday night parent request is a good one. Also, just what are your interests? What do you have at your house? The American Girl Tea Party was a Sunday night request. I had the American Girls at my house. What is your experiences? I have a TIC class. I've only done that one twice, but everyone knows that, I know a lot about that subject. Yeah. And just an election class. I used to work in news. So it's your interests, your experiences, plus, suggestions from parents. And those are the ways I get them.
Great. Rebekah said Pinterest.
Mhm.
That's cool.
Is on Pinterest.
Mhm.
Oh, I guess the Alka-Seltz is for her lava lamp.
Oh, okay.
Fun.
Okay.
Nice.
That's fun.
That's cool.
Kelly, did you say about the parent list? That a list comes
Yeah,
out?
every Sunday night, a list of parent or student requests come out and you can tell the ones by students. Or the ones that are by, there'll be a request, you can tell it's by a parent. It'll say like, a class for a 7-year-old on how to clean the room and not talk back to their parents and be polite. Yeah.
Might have to bring our teacher voices out on that one.
That's
How do you
funny.
get your ideas? You've got a great group of classes.
Thanks. Yeah, so I'll just like sometimes they'll randomly hit me. Like, I don't know, I'll either be like trying to go to sleep or something, and then it'll just like hit me and I'll be like, oh my gosh, that's an incredible idea. So then I'm like, okay, so then I go in and I have my Outschool in my phone notes. I have like lists, and I'm just like always constantly adding to it. And then like I've been doing a class a week with Stephanie, and it's just like I keep hitting like new ideas, and I'm like, okay, I need to do that. And then I'm like, I can't keep up with like the content and like creating it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just really, I don't know, it's really fun. And one of my newest ones is like an election, but it's like fun, like fantasy election. Like, okay, would you vote for Harry Potter or Draco Malfoy or SpongeBob or Elsa? Like, I don't know. And so I just like put like fun opponents together and see like, all right, if you were to vote for president or something, if you had these choices, who would you vote for and why? What's good about them? What's not? Like, what are the pros and cons? Yeah. So
when my kids were little, I did not want them watching. I was like, oh.
Same.
It's fun.
So anybody else want to have any other ideas?
Oh, I was going to say, I think you just have to go with what you are passionate with and what you really enjoy. Because if you don't know much about it, not that you can't learn, but I mean, I don't know. I think people know, or maybe, or I would feel like they might know if I didn't really have like, I just want to make some money. So this is popular. I'm going to do it, you know. But I will revive my Scrabble one, and I looked it up. I'm like, all right, who's teaching Scrabble? I found one other teacher, right?
Oh wow.
And I'm like, okay, not very popular, but that's okay, you know, because somebody's, you know, there might be somebody out there. So at least I have it on my schedule. But I love Scrabble. I mean, I really love it. I feel like I know I'm not a, you know, I mean, the best, but I'm not the worst. So I think it's what you're really passionate about. And then like Kelly said, ideas come up and you're like, oh, I hadn't thought about that. But I think you definitely need to know your material, you know, especially if you're doing something educational, because then you're kind of doing a disservice to people if you like, oh, I'm going to teach history. And then you're like, you know, not me, for example. You know, you have to know what you're doing too. So anyway, that's all.
So I wanted to tell teachers, other teachers out there that are just getting started with Outschool, if you don't know where to start and you're already a past brick and mortar teacher, or even now, look at your lesson plans. If you have a lesson that you teach every year that you really like, go for it. You know, that's an easy way. You know what you're doing. You've done it for a while, and you might get your feet wet that way. You know what I mean? Mindy, I think I cut you off. What were you?
No, it's okay. Marianne, with your Scrabble one, you should market it as a vocabulary building class for Scrabble.
Ooh.
So vocabulary building through Scrabble. I think that
that's a good idea.
Especially, you know, like they're looking for a little bit, possibly a little bit more academic, but then with a twist of fun in it, you know, so that might be a good one. But so
thank you.
I am not that creative of a person. And
really?
with teaching, no, I follow the patterns really well. Like all my crafts and sewing and stuff that I do, like I will find them on Pinterest or whatever, and I follow patterns well. I can take an idea and like go with it, but the idea I'm usually, you know, looking up. But with Outschool, you know, like what Kelly was saying at first, just be really careful to not let it consume your life, because you can be like, oh, I need to do a class on this and that. Like Kasey has her whole list, but no time to develop it all. It takes a lot of time to develop your courses, but then you can use them again and again and again. So you just have to be really careful to like try to turn it off so it's not waking you up in the middle of the night, etc. And I don't know, that's just, and I agree, like my fall classes with the reading, I'm a reading specialist, and so this is how I taught my reading classes. And I like went and bought like the same exact curriculum that I've always taught my reading classes with, just because I knew that I could jump in and do it with my eyes closed. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm familiar with it, so that's what I want to do. And they're booking, and they're, you know, I'm getting a lot of interest in it because, I don't know, I think they know that you already are familiar with that topic, you know?
Right. I like that topic too. I think I'm so passionate about reading, especially in kindergarten, because I couldn't stand reading. And as an adult, it is so hard for me to sit and read. I mean, you guys know how hard it is for me to sit anyway, but to sit and read something and comprehend it, I've always had trouble. So I have these little things for kindergarten, just, you know, I just want them to love reading because I never did. And it's so important. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
All right. But Kasey, you need to go. So I think we probably covered everything, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I was just going to do.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming on this chat. I hope we gave some great ideas. I learned a lot as always. I'm really excited that I have more ways to get new lessons and stuff, but now I just got to start writing them all and adding them. So thank you all so much.
One tiny last quick thing is, like, I had that idea for the brain break class that I just told you about. Well, I teach that at like 2 p.m. on Wednesday and Friday. So like if somebody else wanted to develop an idea for a brain break class that's very similar, and you're teaching it on a different day and a different time, it doesn't matter, because that can appeal to totally different learners that meets their schedule. So as long as you're not copying directly from someone else,
right,
you can take other people's class ideas, tweak it, make your own, and put it on a different day and different time. And it's your own gig then. You know what I'm saying? So don't feel like, oh my gosh, I can't steal Mindy's brain break idea.
I already did.
I already did.
You go for it. I'm all about that. You know, it's like there's plenty of learners. Go for it.
I already got it listed. I'm just kidding.
I wrote it on my hand. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming, and thank you in the chat. We still have 9 people that were still hanging out with us.
Good job.
All right,
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.